chapter 62. For the leader, for Jeduthun, a psalm of David. Only for God doth my soul wait in stillness. From him cometh my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation, my high tower. I shall not be greatly moved. How long will you set upon a man, that you may slay him, all of you, as a leaning wall, a tottering fence? They only devise to thrust him down from his height, delighting in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Only for God wait you in stillness, my soul, for from him cometh my hope. He only is my rock and my salvation, my high tower. I shall not be moved. Upon God resteth my salvation and my glory. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in God. Trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Selah. Men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. If they be laid in the balances, they are together lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, and put not vain hope in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart thereon. God has spoken once. Twice have I heard this, that strength belongeth unto God. Also unto you, O Lord, belongeth mercy, for you renderest to every man according to his work. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. Now this is for the leader. Once again, it's a psalm of David. He's the beloved, the chosen one. This is a song unto God. For Jeduthun, and Jeduthun are those of praisings, those that give praise to God. We're going to see that this is all common knowledge to those. This is really like a look from the side, we could say, perspective that's off the side of one's position, even one's own position, we could say. We're going to pick it up here in 2. Only for God doth my soul wait in stillness. From him cometh my salvation. Only for God doth my soul wait. Only for Elohim, this might, the power, the strength that God gives. He gives us all. That's what my soul's going to wait for, in stillness. And this word, stillness here, King James Version just simply says, my soul waiteth, but this word is dumiyah. It means I'm waiting in stillness, in repose, in a dead stop. We're going to find out, because it's like you've been cut off. You can't go no further. The word, it comes from Damah, and it's to cease, cause to cease, cut off, destroy, even perish. Even that position, cut off in it. It's like it's a position that can only go so far. It's a position that only has so much area that it covers. It's a position that only has so much authority. Because from God comes all salvation. God's salvation is the law that he gave you in the beginning, this covenant that he made, that you either going to keep the covenant, that's the law, that's the agreement, you're going to do these things, the statutes, the ordinances that God commanded, or this thing called salvation is not going to have much effect for you. 3, he only is my rock and my salvation, my high tower. I shall not be greatly moved. And he only is my rock and my salvation. God is my rock. That's that firm place. That's that solid position. The salvation, that's my agreement with the law, my agreement with the ordinances, my agreement with the statutes, my high tower. That's my place of refuge. And I shall not be greatly moved. And no, it's not going to be an easy thing to drag me out of here. 4, how long will you set upon a man, that you may slay him, all of you, as a leaning wall, a tottering fence? How long will you set upon a man? How long are you going to? And we're going to see that this is what this position they appointed, that they could think they're going to somehow sit there, that take their confidence there in this position that they've created. See, that God didn't want, even in the beginning. And it's a simple position. It's going to be your king. It's that king that they took and they created that position. Why? So they could hide behind the king and not face God. We learned that's going to be from the beginning there where we learned this. That you may slay him, all of you. This kind of gets a little misled here. It's like sitting on a leaning wall, taking your position up with a man, not God. See, we got to put our trust in God, in God's knowledge, and God's understanding, and God's wisdom that He give all of us. Because when we put our trust in a man, it's like sitting on a leaning wall or a tottering fence. It's just a matter of time before it falls. 5. They only devise to thrust him down from his height, delighting in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. It's because it's a two-faced thing. See, it's two-faced. Oh, it's all pleasantness with your mouth. Oh, he's wonderful, it's beautiful, it's great. Then we'll find behind the back there's the cursing, there's lying. Oh, it's the trouble. Look at all the trouble we've got because of this. And that's exactly what we find going on today. It's been going on since the beginning of time. There's nothing going to change because men just simply never change. They are always somehow blinded, somehow found in some form of an ignorance. Because why? Well, they just don't put their faith in God. 6. Only for God wait you in stillness, my soul, for from him comes my hope. Only for God, in stillness. Quietness, once again, sitting still. Wait you, my soul. Once again, the word here is damam, and it's to be silence, like to growing ever so dumb, growing quieter and quieter. The intent here, I believe, is to cause silence, for hope comes from God. 7. He only is my rock and my salvation, my high tower. I shall not be moved. He only. And to be only means to be one. It's God and there's no other. He's my salvation. He's the one that has the ability to save. It's like He gave the law in the beginning. My high tower. That place I'm going to run back to every time for refuge and seek mercy under the law. Because I will not violate it with knowledge. I'm not going to violate the law with my understanding. I'm not going to violate law. We're going to see God is the one we have to follow. God is the one we have to seek. It's Him we take refuge in. We don't take refuge in men or these things that men do or the understandings that men have. We're going to find they're going to lead you off, mislead you every time. But we're going to stay in the Torah. That's God's instructions. His law. Instructions, think about that. That's like an instruction manual for life. And I shall not be moved. 8. Upon God rests my salvation and my glory. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in God. On God resteth my salvation. It all falls down on God. It's up to Him. It's His decision. It's His judgment. He's the one that created me. He's the one that put me in the path. He's the one that assigned my steps. He put me in my order. Give me whatever I had coming. And I accept it. God's my strength. He's my refuge. I'm going to fall back every time on the Lord. Saying, you're going to have to help me here because I just have no understanding. None. Trust in Him at all times, you people. Pour out your heart before Him. God is a refuge for us. Selah. Trust in Him at all times. Put your trust in the Lord. Put your trust in God. Put your trust in the name. Pour out your heart before Him. Pour out your heart. Let Him, tell Him what your problems are. Tell God what your needs are. Explain these things to God. Put your trust in Him. He'll do something. Don't put your trust over in these others, but they're just going to let you down every time. When we lean upon those, it's like leaning upon Egypt. It's just something that's going to pierce you. It's going to pierce through you every time. They're going to let you down. God is my strength. He's my rock. He's my refuge. God is a refuge for all of us. 10. Men of low degree are vanity. Men of a high degree are a lie. If they be laid in the balances, they are together lighter than vanity. Men of a low degree, these are base men. These, we all have our opinion of what these are. We're going to talk. We're not talking about just anybody. We're talking about men who know what they do is wrong. These would be those of a low degree, those of baseness. Baseness is like to be on the bottom. You're just vanity. Vanity is like just worthless. And men of a high degree are a lie. That's just a lie itself. There's nobody higher than another. No man's higher than another. No man has. You can say, well, he's the president. He's the dictator. He's whatever you've got. That don't make him any higher than anything else. That's a position you give him. I didn't give him that position. I don't surrender my authority. God give me my authority. My authority comes from God. I don't surrender my authority to nobody other than the Lord God Almighty Himself. Because, see, if you took all these and put them both in a balance, weighed them out, see what they was worth, we would find out they're lighter than vanity. They don't even have the value of worthlessness. 11. Trust not in oppression. Put not vain hope in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart thereon. Trust not in that oppression, that ignorance. Don't put your hope in your vain hope. That's hope that's worthless. That's just hope that ain't going to do you no good. Over into the robbery. Because that's what it is. You're just robbing everybody, thinking, creating that. If riches increase, set not your heart thereon, because there ain't no value in that. There ain't no value in these that increase the wealth, increase all that, build all that up. There's no value in that. What's that going to do for anybody when they lose their soul? 12. God spoken once. Twice have I heard this, that strength belongs unto God. God spoke once, and we heard that. Yes. God spoke. When did God speak? Well, God spoke once when He spoke to the Levites. He told them the order, how to keep it. Twice have I heard this. Twice now. We're going to have a second witness here. One was the priesthood and the alliance. Now the second was the king, who come in to contend with those that were supposed to keep the ordinance in the first place, and now we'll send another one in there, and he's supposed to keep it all straight, but we'll find out in the long run that's not what's going to happen. Because true strength belongs to God. He's the one that has strength. And it's so that we can expose God, so we can show God. This is how God works. See, God works in justice. God works in righteousness, and men don't. 13. Also unto you, O Lord, belongs mercy, for you rendest to every man according to his work. Also unto you, and we can put this over in God's court, so to speak. We can say, hey, that God does this. To the Lord belongs mercy. God gives mercy to whoever God pleases. That's God's business. Mercy is. For you renders to every man according to his work, according to his deeds, according to the way he's done. Every man. Nobody gets to escape. It was very simple from the beginning. God said, I'm going to set you a choice between life and death, between the law and not the law. Choose the law. Choose life. Because the soul that sins, that soul's going to die. But the soul that'll turn from his sin, that soul will live. Psalms 63. Turn and return.